Welcome to the InTime Timesheet Workers Guide. In this presentation, we will go through the following topics. How to get started. This will cover the information about your link and your login details. The home page with its different tabs. My Details, where you will be able to amend your personal details, and this is also where you will find your payslips. Creating and submitting your timesheets. Here we will start by defining the different states of timesheet and take you through the process of creating a draft timesheet, amending your draft timesheet, and submitting your draft timesheet. Creating and submitting your expenses, checking your submitted expenses and timesheet have been approved, explaining the process of correcting and resubmitting the timesheet and expenses in case they have been rejected, contacting us and requesting forms. At the end of this presentation, you will be able to submit and amend your timesheet and expenses and navigate your way through the system. Let's get started. To access InTime, open the web browser. This is likely to either be Internet Explorer, Firefox or Chrome. Once opened, enter your InTime service address into the location bar or the address bar. You will receive this email direct from InTime, along with your login details. So expect an email from payroll@velocity-intec.com. Once the InTime site is opened, you will be prompted for your username and password. Click Login to proceed. This will take you to your main InTime homepage. The navigation menu is located across the top of the page, starting with the Home menu tab on the left. Each tab comes with a drop-down list. The main ones that you will be using are Timesheet, which provides access to new, draft and previously submitted timesheets. Expenses, similar to the timesheets but for expenses. Profile, which gives details of your client and your placement. My Details, where you can update your contact details, password, and view your current and previous payslips. Contact Us. This is where you get the contact details for the agency and where you can access any forms that you may require. The main use of InTime is to submit timesheets and expenses, and also to check on their approval status. The first tab we're going to look at is My Details. By clicking and selecting Personal Details, you can change your email address, phone number, mobile number, address. It also allows you to view and check your bank details, although you cannot edit them. To change your password, click on Change Password. This will bring up a box where you'll need to enter your current password and your new password. Confirm it and save. Now your new password can be used, but remember to keep it safe and confidential. By choosing Payslips in the My Details drop-down, you can access your payslips. This will have current and historic payslips. Click on the weekend date and it will open up. The last option is Clear My Notification. Once this has been activated, it cannot be reversed. We recommend that you do not activate this, as this will notify you of any timesheets or expenses that have been rejected and inform you of what action to be taken. Before we go into the details of entering information into your timesheet, you need to be aware of the different states of timesheet. These are Draft. A draft timesheet is one that you have created and saved but not yet submitted. A draft option only applies to the timesheet and not to expenses. Submitted. A submitted timesheet or expenses form is one that you have created and submitted for approval. Submitted timesheets and expenses cannot be modified, so please take a moment to ensure that the details are correct before submitting. Approved. An approved timesheet or expense claim is one that has been approved by your manager for payment. Rejected. A rejected timesheet or expense claim is one that has been rejected by your manager. This is usually because of an incorrect hour or an expense detail. Now let's look at entering your timesheet. Click on Timesheet and select Create. Here you will be prompted to select your placement, the current position that you wish to enter your working times against. The next box requires the weekend date. The weekend date is the Sunday of the week you are claiming. By clicking on the calendar icon next to the date box, you can select the correct date. Once you have done this, click OK to proceed. You will now be presented with your electronic timesheet. The top 3 sections should appear closed. To open them, click on the arrow. The first section is entitled Timesheet Information. Here you will see the timesheet identification number. This is a unique number generated for the timesheet and can be used to monitor the timesheet's progress through the process. It also contains your name, the date you are entering the information, as well as the week, period, end date, your rates of pay, and your approving manager's details. Section 2 is entitled Placement Participants. This section contains information of the client. That's the person you are working for, your line manager, and your recruitment consultant. Section 3 is called Placement Information. Here you will find the details of your current assignment, your job title, your start date, and again your timesheet approver's details. Section 4. This is the electronic version of your timesheet, but it can appear in different formats depending on your contract. If you are hourly paid, you will need to enter your start and finish time and any unpaid breaks in the line Basic. If you have any additional time, overtime, click on the plus sign and a second line will appear. Now click on the arrow and select the overtime rate. Then enter any additional hours in this line. If you have a day rate contract, you will be presented with a decimal box in the day column. Here, enter 1 for a day worked, 0.5 for half a day, and so on. After saving your timesheet, you will be reminded that your timesheet has been saved but not submitted, and it will give you 3 more options. The Finish button. You will be prompted that your timesheet has been saved but not submitted. You have now created a draft timesheet. It will at this stage ask you if you'd like to enter any relevant expenses. Here, complete all the required fields. Now click Submit. This will bring up a pop-up to ask you, are you happy with your expense claim? Click Submit. Although you have submitted your expense claim, you have not submitted your timesheet. If you have no expenses, click No and return to the home page. Here, by going to the timesheet drop-down, you will see that the draft now has a 1 beside it. By clicking on it, it will open up any unsubmitted timesheets. Click on the ID number and it will open any timesheets. Here you can amend, add, or adjust any previous information entered. The Edit button will allow you to make changes to your draft timesheet before submitting it. The Submit button will submit your draft timesheet for approval to your timesheet approver. Please take some time to check that the information you have entered is correct. If and when you are totally happy with your timesheet, click the Submit button. You will be presented with a warning stating that once this has been submitted, you will not be able to modify this timesheet again. Click OK to submit. Again, it will remind you that you are about to submit your timesheet and it cannot be changed. Are you sure you want to do this? Click Yes. Your timesheet has now gone for approval. Now, let's look at expenses. If you are submitting expenses at the same time as your timesheet, you will have already done this. But if you are submitting expenses on their own, select Claim from the Expenses drop-down. Again, just like your timesheet, you'll be asked to select the placement you wish to claim against, and the date, the period that the expenses cover. Enter your expenses, and if you need any additional rows, click Add Row. Click Save. This will allow you to either edit or submit your claim. Submit will send your claim to your manager for approval. If your timesheet or expenses have been rejected, you will receive a notification from your approver. Select Rejected from the Timesheet drop-down and your timesheet will appear. Open the timesheet information. Here you will see the reason for rejection. Please amend accordingly and resubmit your timesheet. Follow the same procedure for expenses. The last tab we're going to look at is Contact Us. On the drop-down, the first option is Agency Details. This gives you Intec's address and all the contact details. The second option is Forms. Here you have a list of available forms you can request. Thank you. If you have any questions, please refer to the Frequently Asked Questions link, or do not hesitate to contact your recruitment consultant. Thank you.